I wanted to talk about something real quick that I feel like I just cracked the Da Vinci Code. I feel like I just understood it. I feel like I finally understand what love actually is. And like what it is, and to an extent of like how and like what is self-love and what is love in general. You know what I mean? Because I've been thinking about it. I've been having like different conversations, and it just made me think like, yo, like, what is that really? So my thoughts are everywhere. But all right, you know what it is? My thoughts are everywhere because I'm trying to lean away from transparency. That's what it is. Right? So here's how shit really went down when I was talking to myself. Here's how shit really went down. You feel me? Like no sugarcoating. That's when like shit gets lost in the tracks, right? So I'm thinking like, damn, like what's really up with me? Like I have good confidence, but not all the way to where I want it to be. I just want to be transparent, right? Because initially it started off with me. I was watching some YouTube videos, and I was watching Eric Thomas, and I was watching his videos. One of his older videos, not too old, but one of his oldest videos. And he was on Instagram, or he was on YouTube, and then he plugged his Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. And I'm like, damn, I'm grinding this YouTube shit hard, but probably not smart. If I was actually working smarter, I would actually post some clips on Instagram, some clips on Snapchat, some clips on Facebook, some clips on whatever, all these other platforms that I can use to help grow me, you know what I mean, grow my social media presence. And I knew this for a while, and I was like, yo, what's really up? Like, why am I thinking this? Because I went to the 360 Man conference that happened a few days ago, and it just got me thinking, so I was like, okay, why is that my preference? Because I have a tendency to lean into my preferences. Why do I not prefer to do certain things over other things? And the reason is because if I'm being transparent, I don't necessarily think the content that is over here on YouTube is just good enough to go everywhere. I don't think it's good enough quality content. And maybe, and I don't know, I had to really ask myself, like, why do I think that? Is it because the quality is poor? Which it could potentially be. I'm open to that. Or is it that I don't really love on myself? Like, I don't really think that I'm valuable. I see myself in a certain light that maybe I wouldn't see somebody else. I had to really be transparent with myself. And I think the real answer is probably a combination of things. I haven't really got to the answer of that. Right? And then, I thought about why I see myself in a different light than I would see other people that I admire. Because there's certain people that I would admire that could say the same things, post the same type of content, and I wouldn't judge them for it. But because it's me, I'm judging myself. I'm like, no, that's not right. Ew, that's cringy. Like, I'm just seeing myself in such a weird, different light. Though I do understand to an extent the value that I have as a human versus other people. I understand certain skill sets that I have that other people don't have. But just the way that I view myself isn't really where I want it to be. So I really had to ask myself, why is that? Why do I see myself in a different light than what I see other people? And to be honest, it's because I know myself intimately. And if I know somebody intimately versus knowing them as a non-human, you know what I mean? Like knowing somebody as a celebrity, you see them in a certain light because you don't see their flaws. So you see them doing certain things as cool. Like let's say they thirsting over a girl, you see them on Instagram and they like, whoop, they thirsting over a shorty, whatever. You're not gonna think nothing of it because you think they're so cool. You just think that, that's nothing. You're not gonna think nothing of it. But if it's you that move like that, you're gonna think, because your insecurities and stuff like that. So it's just a different level of knowing. If you actually knew that celebrity, you probably wouldn't. If you actually knew all the good, the bad, and the ugly, you probably wouldn't think that about them. And so I'm like, okay, now understanding that, which way should I lean? Should I say, okay, should I try to see myself in a light as though I'm a celebrity? Which I don't know if that can work. Or should I just understand that everybody's human and to see the value in everybody, but to understand that everybody's humans. Everybody has flaws and insecurities and things that they don't want nobody to see, and to really understand that. And I would say, you know what, that the second part, the second one is probably the one that I should probably lean towards, because, because if I see everybody as human, I'm probably not gonna judge myself as much, right? And so that makes a lot of sense. Then I brought up the analogy to myself. I was like, if I see a girl walking in the street and she look good, or let's say there's two different girls, two different situations. One girl walks down the street and I think that she's not attractive. I wouldn't talk to her to have an intimate relationship ever at any point in time. Right? I walk down the street, I say, hey, how are you? You look nice today. And she says, ew. My feelings is not gonna be hurt at all. I'm not gonna care, right? But if a girl that I think is super attractive, super good looking, well kept, and I say, hi, hey, how are you? Looking good today? And she says, ew. Like, I'm gonna be hurt. My feelings gonna be hurt, right? And I'm like, okay, that's good transparency. What do I do with that information? Right? And I think that, and I said to myself, like, okay, but if you really, so I came up with one of two things, right? The first thing was to see to see value in different people, to see value in people differently, right? So obviously, I don't know nothing about either of those girls. They just walking down the street and I'm speaking to them. But because the girl that I think is better looking, there's something about the interaction that holds more value to me. So maybe I hold too much value in the way that people look, including myself. Not to say that I'm ugly, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like I'm having an off day or I'm roughing it or just whatever, like I don't necessarily look exactly how I want to look, like I see my value differently than when I think I'm on. Like yesterday, I just felt like I was having a good day. I looked at me, I'm like, nah, yeah, you feel me, looking good. Like you that guy, you that dude, right? And I was thinking, okay, so maybe one, and I don't see people, and I don't want to get it confused. Like, I don't see people for just their looks, obviously, but it was just like, okay, maybe I should remove that value completely, or, and this is what I feel like a lot of girls do, is that they'll convince themselves that they just the baddest bitch on the planet. Like, yep, I'm the baddest bitch on the planet. Like, if a dude rejects them, it'll be like, oh, he's gay, or something's wrong with him. You know what I mean? So, and it's like both of those are, I don't know. Both of those are dangerous, I guess. The way I viewed that initially, girls moving in that way, I always thought of it as somewhat of a delusion or delusional. But I feel like it makes a little bit, well, I still do think that is delusional. But I think that girls going out intentionally dressing up and just going out to make themselves feel good, I feel like the way I saw that initially, I always saw that as like insecure. But I think it's connected to actually self-love, right? Because I always thought they went out for validation, and maybe some of them do. But I think that when you take the time to actually love on yourself, it adds a different level of love that you have for yourself. And I think that's where I came full circle with this idea. You know what I mean? Because when I was in high school, I used to not get haircuts. I used to not really keep up with my skin. I didn't have no self-care routine, and I never really understood why I never saw myself in a certain light. Because I knew the person that was on the inside was a good person. Like, I knew I had personality. I felt that I was funny. I felt that, I was a great talker. I was a deep thinker. I always felt that I was a good person. I just always felt that intrinsically in my mind and in my heart, I always had so much to offer. So in my mind, I'm like, it don't matter how I look, because if she really fuck with me, she gonna fuck with me. And, that could potentially be true to an extent. And I think it was true to an extent. Even though I was always in good physical shape because I always played on the basketball team. So that's a level of self-love. Like you forcing yourself to work out. Even though I never had to really force myself to work out, I always was in good shape because I hooped. So I think that's different. But I think the epiphany that I came to towards the end was really that, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. The epiphany that I came to towards the end was that you can't love anything without showing love to it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm thought about a child, for example, right? Because some of the most, like, the things that people love the most in this world is usually their children, right? And how do people treat their children? For the most part, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you're gonna have different situations, but especially a mother to a child, how does a mother treat the child, right? First and foremost, the mother carried the child in the womb for 9 months. So there's a level of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a level of dedication that once you're born, there's already love there, because there's already so much commitment to you even being here. That I think that's a lot of reason why mothers love their children off rip, and maybe fathers on average don't have that same type of connection, because the investment wasn't like the investment for the child to even get there. You know, the love that had to be shown, like first of all, I didn't abort you. I didn't kill you. I didn't swallow you. Off rip, that's love, nigga. Off rip, that's love. Like, off rip, I didn't abort you. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? None of that. They feel me? So off rip, that's love. I kept you in the womb for 9 months. There's probably certain things I didn't eat, certain things I didn't drink, certain things I didn't smoke. That's love off top. So once you come out the womb, that's already love, right? But let's talk about them after being born, right? Getting up hours, feeding, you know what I'm saying? Sleeping schedule all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Certain sacrifices that are made. You're gonna automatically love that child. You're making all those sacrifices. You're gonna automatically love that child, because why? Because you're showing love. There's certain things that a woman has to do for a child to be born that involve showing love. Breastfeeding. If you breastfeeding, bro, that's a sacrifice. You can hit the formula and I don't blame no woman for none of that. You get what I'm saying? I don't blame a woman for none of that. But I'm saying if you hit the breast, that's a sacrifice. The fact that you were even born and you messed up my body, sacrifice. Breast milk, sacrifice. Getting up all hours of the night, sacrifice. I can't go out and do what I want. Sometimes people sacrifice their dreams and work 2 jobs just so you can eat. That's a sacrifice. There's so much that was sacrificed for you to even be here or rip. And I think that that's why people love their kids so much, because if you have a child, there's certain things that you were forced to do that involve showing love. And I think that as a child gets older, you know, most people have discipline for their child. They have disciplines. Yo, you can't do this. You can't eat this. You can't do this. You're doing this. You gotta do this. There's certain disciplines that people have for their child, right? But yet at the same time, that's the person that they usually love the most in this world. But when it comes to you, you're not making no sacrifices for yourself. You're not disciplining yourself at all. You didn't give up nothing for you. You not giving up nothing for you. And I think that getting up and going out and getting nice haircuts and skin routine and working out, I think that's a start. And I think that that's where you can start to build self-love for yourself. But I think that self-love really comes in your dream and making sacrifices to actually be who you want to be and be where you want to get to. I think once you make the sacrifices to actually do that, you will start to love yourself. And I think that a lot of people don't love themselves, or they're not confident in themselves because they're not making no sacrifices. There's no sacrifices. When you're in an intimate relationship, you in a marriage or a committed relationship, there's certain sacrifices that take place. There's certain things you're making time for that person, right? You're going out on date nights. You spending money. You like, certain people you cut off to be with that person. There's certain things, there's certain people, there's certain events, there's certain time periods that you cut certain things out. You make sacrifices. You have discipline. Right? Maybe your intuition, or not your intuition, but you know, this being the human in the flesh that you are, you see a girl walk down the street and you want to knock it down, and you probably could. But because you in that committed relationship, you choose not to. There's certain disciplines that you have for that person, and in return, once you show love, you automatically gonna love. And I think the reason that we don't love ourselves is because we're not sacrificing nothing for ourselves. There's no discipline for ourselves. We know we're supposed to work out every day. Nah, I'ma chill. We know we're supposed to eat right. Nah, I'm killing everything walking. I'm killing the Cheetos, the fruit snacks, the Captain Crunch. That's my shit. That's my shit. The Captain Crunch. I gotta chill, and I ain't gonna lie. I took a nice little break from the Captain Crunch. I had Captain Crunch this morning. You feel me? But we don't make no sacrifices for ourselves. Sure, a lot of times we say self-care and self-care and you run a nice bubble bath for yourself. You do the little face mask. You know what I'm saying? You work out. Some of us work out and we, what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm feeling myself. But some of us don't really sacrifice for the person we want to be. We don't make those sacrifices. I think if we made those sacrifices, we would really love ourselves. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's it. Whatever you said you wanted to do, whoever you said you wanted to be, though it is going to be hard and though you're not going to want to do it, I think that's really the key to really loving yourself, is to doing the stuff that you don't really want to do. And it's a lot easier to discipline somebody else, especially a child. It's easy. Eat your vegetables. I don't want to eat your vegetables. I don't care. Eat your vegetables. Nigga, you gotta eat your vegetables. Whatever the vegetables are in your life, whether it's actually eating your vegetables or actually going to therapy, actually getting uncomfortable, you gotta do the work. You gotta pay to do the work sometimes. Sometimes you need to pay for a personal trainer because you're not gonna get it done on your own. Sometimes you have to pay for personal development because you're not gonna figure it out on your own. Sometimes you gotta pay. Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. And it's so easy for us to tell somebody else, yo, I don't care what you get home at 9 o'clock. But you won't tell yourself to get home at 9 o'clock. You won't put yourself in the bed by 10 o'clock. You not getting up at the same time every day. And I'm not talking to you, whoever's watching, I'm talking to me. Right? But I just really wanted to share this. Like, yo, I really think I figured it out. Definitely let me know what y'all think. Definitely like, comment, share, and subscribe. I don't know where this is going. I might throw this up on. I don't know if I can throw this up on. I don't know where I can throw this up on, but you feel me? At the end of the day, show love.